So my trigger to start with chaos engineering was I worked as a consultant and I joined a project very late in the cycle. So it was very close to the first release of a new product into production. By nature, I'm a paranoid guy. I don't trust anything. So I want to see everything working under real conditions. So I'm the new guy, so I need to get a better understanding what was implemented, what they want to achieve. And I started with just take a look at the code base. I took a look at all the tests they have implemented, unit tests, integration tests, end-to-end tests, and there was something in common. Everything was, like mentioned earlier, happy path testing only. So I learned it the hard way that this will not work in production under every condition you can imagine. If everything is fine and there are just some customers, it might work, but that's not how production is. So that was something I was aware of, but my team wasn't aware of, and they wanted not to spend any time on it. So I need to convince them. So what I did is I just executed the old load tests, but now in combination with some latency. That's where chaos engineering was coming in from my side. So I injected latency. I just turned off a server while I was running the load test. And then I did it in front of the team. The team realized, oh, damn, Benjamin is right. Yes, he told us multiple times. We were not willing to listen, but now, yeah, Benjamin, we will do it. That was my trigger where I started.
Did you just build like a custom script to be able to inject the latency there?
It was not a script. It was inside of Spring Boot applications, which are based on Java. I started with a small project to really inject this behavior in the application. Out of this, I was able to build my first project, which is still on GitHub. It's the Chaos Monkey for Spring Boot applications.
Okay. And then also, like we talked about earlier, in terms of starting in production versus pre-production, when you sort of identified a potential issue and then you recreated that scenario to paint the picture for your team and surprise them so they understood what was happening, did you do that in production or was it in pre-production as well?
It was in pre-production because we were very close before we go the first time into production. Yeah, but I highly recommend every time don't start in production, start earlier, be aware what can go wrong and test for this.
So yeah, like you basically started with understanding, taking a look at the system, where's potential vulnerabilities, and then have a hypothesis, which is basically what chaos engineering, the methodology is. Start with a hypothesis, and then you built a scenario or an experiment with fault injection using specifically latency to test your hypotheses and then show your team that in fact your system wasn't able to react well to the latency. Did I get all that right?
Yes, correct.
Very cool. Very cool.